Thank Dr. Varun Mitra for virtually dragging me and asking me to come down to this place and speak on the glaciers. I was very occupied with some of my domestic issues, but then I thought I must come, and there is a reason behind it. You all know glaciers have become really very important nowadays, particularly after the assessment report 4 and the categorical statement that was made by the so-called office of the IPCC on the Himalayan glaciers that they will completely vanish in next 20-30 years, 35. And it is that statement which really made the Indian scientists working on the glaciers to come together and put forth a strong resentment against the statement that was made in IPCC report. And in the last about 2.5 years, there has been a tremendous amount of drive by the Indian geologists, climatologists, glaciologists who are working on Himalayan glaciers to refute this particular statement, and ultimately it bore the fruits. And the IPCC chairman had to really apologize for that statement. It was after that we started really thinking about it very seriously, because the lead authors of the Himalayan glacier chapter in the IPCC assessment report 4 made a very categorical statement in the UNEP program where I was also present. They said that there is no great literature, there is no literature available on the Himalayan glaciers. The fact remains that when the IPCC report, assessment report 4 was being prepared, there were at least 20 glaciers in Indian Himalaya, of which there was the literature available. But for whatsoever reason, best known to them, they did not quote any one of them. Now here I will present one of the glaciers, one of the glacial valleys where we have worked, and this report is already uploaded on the website of the MOEF, and shortly the research papers will also come out on this. I will not be able to speak on all the 20 glaciers, but I will speak on one particular glacier, the valleys. And there is a book shortly going to come up by V.K. Rana, the lead glaciologist of India, who is writing a report on the monitoring of 150 years monitoring of Indian Himalayan glaciers. Because this is a strong misnomer among the Western countries that Himalayan glaciers have not been studied. And I will quote you one glacier, that is Siachen, where we have a monitoring of last 150 years. I will start from the we are going to talk to say the Indus Basin is one of the basins in Indian Himalaya, which is one of the largest basins. And we have a part of this Indus Basin, of course, is also in Pakistan. When I talk about Indus Basin, I am only specifically talking about the basin which is located in the Indian Himalaya. And we have, as per the GSI's inventory, there are 9,575 glaciers in Himalaya. There is a slight difference with the inventory that has been recently prepared by Space Application Center, which says that the total number of glaciers are 13,000 odd. There is some difference of opinion in that. But we go by the GSI inventory. Then out of 9,575 glaciers in entire Indian Himalaya, there are roughly 60% of glaciers which are located in J&K. So Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian part of Jammu and Kashmir, becomes a real big storehouse of the Himalayan glaciers. And unfortunately, because these glaciers are situated in the most treacherous and inhospitable terrain, so there are about 21 glaciers which have been studied very thoroughly for last about 3 decades. And now there is a big program launched by DST, by the Ministry of Environment and Space Application Center, where we are trying to take up another about 30 to 40 glaciers in a phased manner, so that the data bank gets slightly rich. I will just take you to the Nubra Valley, which is very, very important, because Nubra Valley is one area where we have one of the largest glaciers, that is the Siachen Glacier. And this Siachen Glacier has been the most controversial glacier. If you all remember, there has been a long debate. The environmentalists, so-called, have been talking that the Indian Army has got into that valley. There is so much of shelling going on, firing going on, and all this business has led to the melting of the Siachen glaciers. So this became a real debate for quite a long period of time. And then we had one program launched by Space Application Center on the Nubra Valley. And we were asked specifically to carry out some studies on the Siachen Glacier and find out whether there is any impact of these sort of activities on the Siachen glaciers or not. Now, Siachen Glacier. Now, Siachen Glacier, this is basically Siachen Glacier, and this is roughly the Nubra Valley. And we have taken up, there are about 600 glaciers in this Nubra Valley, but in the first phase, we have taken up 114 glaciers only. The monitoring of this glacier has been done on the basis of the Survey of India topo sheet of 1969, which was the base map, and then we have taken the satellite imageries of a time series of 1989 and 2001. So approximately for 40 years, we have the monitoring of the almost 114 glaciers for last about 40 years. Now these 114 glaciers, if you look at this, using the orientation of these glaciers, these glaciers are oriented in almost all the directions, north, south, east, west, northeast, southwest, southeast, whatever direction it is. Why I am pointing it out here? Because there is an International Commission on the Snow and Ice Studies, which specifically says that the glaciers which are facing north, they have a different type of impact. The glaciers which are facing south have a different type of impact, because it depends upon how much sunlight they are absorbing, how much sunlight they are receiving. So this is what we call the aspect of the glaciers. So aspect of glaciers they have made as one of the points, very important. Those glaciers which are facing the sun and which are receiving the sunlight, they are supposed to melt much faster. The glaciers which are in the shadow areas are supposed to melt slower. So I made it a point to see what is the direction of these glaciers, and what we find is that almost all these glaciers are in every direction. There is no preferred direction as such. Now if you look at the size of the glaciers, we have almost 52% of the glaciers, 114 glaciers, are less than 5 kilometers. And you will find 31% of the glaciers are between 5 to 10 kilometers. And you have large glaciers are very few percentage. Again, this point is very important because in the International Commission of the Snow and Ice Studies, they again say that the large glaciers are respond very slowly to the climatic change or the global warming, and the small glaciers they melt out very quickly. So, as my procedure in my lecture, I will show you that these sort of statements that have been given in the International Commission on the Snow and Ice Studies are not falling true as far as this particular area is. I divided these 114 glaciers into two groups, Group 1 and Group 2. In Group 1 glaciers, 84 glaciers were taken in Group 1 and 30 glaciers in Group 2. These 84 glaciers were studied for a period of about 11 years, between 1989 to 2001, because we were not having the Survey of India topo sheets available of these particular glaciers. So we had taken only the satellite imagery of 1989 and 2001. And the 30 glaciers that we have studied, this Group 2, are the glaciers where we have the Survey of India topo sheets of 1969. So we have a data from 69 for the length and size of the glaciers. And then 89 satellite imagery and 2001 satellite. So for 30 glaciers, we have a data for almost 40 years, and for these 84 glaciers, we have a data for about 11 years. Now, in this, what we find is there are 25 glaciers, those who are showing gain in the area. Gain in the area means that they have slightly advanced. 26 glaciers which are showing vacation of the area. Vacation of area means that they have withdrawn from their earlier position of 89. And there are 33 glaciers which are not showing any change. Now remember that these 84 glaciers are in the same valley. They are having more or less same type of the lithology, same type of environmental condition, same type of wind directions, wind currents, same type of the sunlight they are receiving. All conditions are similar, but then 25 have shown some advance, 26 have withdrawn, and 33 are not showing any change for last 11 years. If at all it is a global warming, if temperature is a factor which is supposed to melt the glaciers, that it should melt all the 84 glaciers equally. Why this sort of a behavior? Now, if you look at the 30 glaciers, they are very complex. When you take the data from 69 to 2001, 3 glaciers, they show gain in the area. 8 glaciers, they show gain in the area from 69 to 89. And then from 89 to 2001, there is a vacation. That means they start retreating. 5 glaciers, they are showing retreat from 69 to 89. And from 89 to 2001, they again start advancing in. 7 glaciers, they are showing vacation from 69 to 2001. 3 glaciers, they are showing gain in area, but no change from 89 to 2001. And 4 glaciers, they are showing vacation and they are showing no change. Now, this is the complex behavior of the glacier. I'll come down to Siachen, which has been the most controversial glacier as well as this Nubra glacier, for the reasons you know always. And this is one of the longest glaciers, about 68 kilometers long. Very interesting about this glacier, if you look at the glacier, this is in Karakoram Himalayas. Your POK is somewhere here. This is the so-called disputed area. The glacier is right in the control of the Indian Army. Army is situated somewhere here. I am not supposed to show you the photograph of that. Now this, what is interesting about this Siachen glacier is that it is one of the glaciers, which is the largest glacier in Indian Himalayas, and it is one of the glaciers of which the gradient is very low. If you look at the Himalayan glaciers, particularly Ladakh area and part of the Himachal, they are very steeply gradiented. But this is one of the glaciers that you will find it is very, very gently sloping. It doesn't have a very high gradient. That is why when you look at the snout of this glacier, it is virtually merging with the ablation zone. But if you look at the other Himalayan glaciers in Ladakh in the western, in the UP, western UP or Himachal or Uttarakhand, you will find the snouts are very sharp because the gradient is very high. And another interesting is that if you look at the Nubra River starts somewhere from here. I don't think I'll be able to cover it in 5 minutes. You will have to give me some little bit. Indian Himalayan glaciers have not been studied at all. And there is one example I'm showing you. I can quote you another 6-7 examples from Indian Himalayas where glaciers have been monitored for last more than 100 years. This is one example where we have been monitored the glacier for last more than 100 years. And when you look at the behavior of the glacier, you will find that between 1862 to 1909, the glacier front advanced by 725 meters. Then it withdrew by about 50 meters. Then there was a sudden retreat by 400 meters. Then it remained almost stationary. And then you have a retreat of less than 2 meters. If you look at this more or less 100 years, more than 100 years of story of the Siachen Glacier, you find that the Siachen Glacier is behaving erratically. There is no trend as such. It doesn't go back or it doesn't advance or it doesn't decrease with a certain trend. It is behaving very erratically. Why? We don't know. This is 1958. This is the ice cave from where the Nubra River emerges. This is the ice cave in 2008. And this was visited by V.K. Rana in 1958. GSI person. You know it pretty well through his literature. And this was visited in 2008, almost exactly 50 years. And we don't find any change in this snout or this ice cave of the Siachen Glacier. Now, when we compare the imageries of 89 and 2001, what we find is that you have the maximum length was 67.56. It has gone down by 0.06 kilometer. The area has also gone down by approximately 2 square kilometers, which is absolutely negligible for a glacier which is 70 kilometers long. This is, we try to plot the snout of it, and what we find is the snout has in fact slightly moved ahead. There is a gain in the area by about 2.4 kilometers, and in certain portions on the east of it, there is a certain loss. But at the end of the day, there is total gain in the size of in the volume of the glacier. Now, as I told you, that if you Nubra emerges from here, so there is a complete withdrawal of the snout position. Snout is somewhere here. And there is a reason. And the reason is that there is a major Karakoram fault running here, which actually runs through the Himalayan, through the Siachen Glacier. And whenever this fault gets activated, and most probably in Holocene has got activated, this activation of the fault has resulted into the breaking up of the snout of the glacier. This is what we call as the accidental retreats. So there are certain cyclic retreats, cyclic responses, and there are certain advanced retreats which are called as accidental ones. So this is accidental retreat of the glacier, and it has nothing to do with the climate change. Now another example I will show you, this is called as the O.P. Baba, very famous temple there. When the army moves onto the glacier, they offer their prayers here. It was constructed in 1996 here, and this is the snout of the 2007. This is about 6 to 8 meters. So that means in 10 years, there has been a retreat of about 6 to 8 meters. You can very well calculate the retreat of glacier. Now this is the remnants of the these are the remnants of, you see on the left of it, the remnants of the lateral moraine. Okay, this is the lateral moraine. That means the glacier was here at a certain point of geological time, which has left its moraines here. And this is the position here. It gives a date of about 5,000 years before present. And this is 2007 snout of the Siachen Glacier. This distance is roughly about 1 kilometer. So the glacier has retreated about 1 kilometer in 5,000 years. Yet another good example, geological evidence to prove that how slow the rate of retreat is. Now there is another, in the International Commission of the Snow and Ice, they always say that a small glacier, they vanish very quickly. Now here is one example, this is the example we have given. It is very close to Siachen. This is 1969, we find the length of it, and in 2001 this length has in fact increased by about 0.3 kilometer. So the area has increased. This is one of the smallest glaciers in that area, which is approximately 2.9 kilometer length. So this proves that there is no direct relationship between the climate change and the small glaciers. I will not go to this. This is another evidence of large glaciers. I will not enter into it because my chairman is constantly staring at me. But I will show you one example. This is the Countess Glacier in Sulu Valley. This is another longest glacier of 24 kilometers long. And what is interesting is you will find yourself on the right hand side you have a photograph 1910 A.D.V. He was a traveler, a adventurer who wrote a book, a travelogue called 30 Years in Kashmir. And you will find the snout is right here in the river. And 2007 I visited this glacier and snout is still in the Sulu river itself. The only change is that the thickness of the glacier has reduced. The snout has not moved at all. This is Machoi. We have a record of Machoi for the last 100 years. We are working on this. I will not talk about it. Now, these are my collaborators. So thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much.